welcome back to another week and another new tutorial. This week I'm going to paint something for Robin, who is a very good follower of mine. She's a regular follower, and she asked me to paint something like this for her because she was having a bit of trouble getting this type of a scene. So it's going to be a reindeer, not a reindeer, a stag in a snow scene. Now, there's not going to be a lot of detail. I know the photograph that she sent me had a lot of detail, a lot of trees, that kind of stuff, all behind the stag, which is in the foreground. But I'm just going to simplify it to keep it simple for those of you who are just kind of starting out and would like to try this type of a subject. It's just something different, but I'm going to keep it nice and simple, a nice simple subtle kind of a background, a snowy background with maybe a couple of branches or something like that, and a lovely kind of close-up stag just standing in the center then, okay? Something like that. Let's just try it and see how we go, yeah? So yes, that's it. I'm going to look, I'll turn the camera here and show you what I have done, okay? Now, I might make the stag a little bigger because that was just a very, very rough outline. I didn't paint any of the antlers or anything like that yet. I'll do that at the very end. But this is it. It's just a very rough sketch of the stag kind of standing looking, and I'm thinking just a very simple a nice simple snowy kind of background. Maybe even get some sprinkling of snow on there as well. So yeah, that's it. That's what we're going to do this week. I will tell you my colours. I have titanium white, Naples yellow, a little cobalt blue, some phthalo blue, some crimson, I have a little magenta, I have some burnt umber and black. They're my colours. Just a handful of colours, nice simple colours. I have some turpentine in my little bowl there, just a little, some tissues, and that is it. Lots of brushes, look, lots and lots of different types of brushes. Big ones, small ones, and that's it. So yeah, that's about it. I'll get my stuff ready and let's paint this and have a nice bit of fun with this. It's going to be very, very nice. I'm excited to try this, so don't go anywhere. Okay, let's start and have a bit of fun with this. Now, I don't have any reference photographs because I'm just kind of making this up as I go along. I kind of glanced at one or two snow scenes just to get an idea of colours. So I'm basically going to just do a nice kind of pale, sort of a pale mauvey bluey colour sort of in the background, and some kind of nice reddy brown kind of foliage, a kind of pinky brown sort of foliage flicking through, perhaps just here and there, with a couple of little twigs and things. So a nice simple subtle background, but I'm going to be focusing then on the stag in the centre, and we'll take our time with the stag and do a nice proper stag. We'll try anyway. I can't guarantee anything, we'll see how it goes, alright? So, stubby brush at the ready. If you don't have a stubby brush, any old flat kind of a brush will do absolutely fine. Look, anything at all. I just tend to use flat brushes. Soft, flat synthetic brushes, that's what I use. Almost all of my brushes are soft, flat brushes, okay, if you're wondering. And if you're looking for a set of these, I can send them to you as well. Nice little set of stubby brushes. So let's start with this. Okay, let's go. I'm going to dampen my brush very slightly and dry it on the tissue just to soak off the excess, but it's quite wet still. I'm going to get a very light pale colour in the back, so let's take some white. We'll start off with that this time, and let's take a touch of, now let me see, will I try phthalo blue or cobalt? I'm not too sure, because let me just try cobalt for a moment, just a little touch of cobalt. Cobalt is a very sort of, it's more of a warmer kind of blue, and I don't want to go for kind of warm at the moment. Let me try a touch of magenta for a change. We haven't used magenta in a while. It's really a lovely colour. I'm thinking that's a bit too warm for what I want. I might try a touch of phthalo. Now I know phthalo is a more of an earthy kind of a blue. Now you can see the way it's running around. It's very creamy there around, soft and creamy, okay? I'm pushing the turpentine out of the brush into the paint. And I'm mixing a good bit because it's a big background. Another tiny touch of phthalo blue. I want to keep the background very pale and subtle because I want to really show off the stag. It's a nice dark stag, nice dark colour. Tiny touch of magenta perhaps again, just a little bit as I go. Let me just see now. That's not a bad colour. I'm going to go just around the stag now very loosely, okay? I'm not going to worry too much about trying to get the lines absolutely perfect, alright? Look, right over the ears of the stag. Don't worry too much about it, it's okay. We'll fix it later on, yes? And we will use a lot of this colour, so you can mix up a really good bit of paint if you like. And this is quite thin now actually, this mix is quite thin. So I might thicken it up very slightly. As it goes up, it's going to get very sort of bright and whitey, okay? So I'll take just the tiniest little touch of magenta in on the very top up there. And I'm really just kind of scraping the paint out just along the canvas, just scraping it in. It really is a very, very bright colour up on top. It's almost just looking at the, you know, I have a little photograph here of a little bit of a scene, a winter scene, and it's just really just white, very brightly white. But I'm, you know, I'm kind of making it my own. It's just a very light, it's only for colour, that's all. So it's very, very brightly white up on the top there, and I'm hardly even looking at the photograph to be quite honest. It's just a reference for colours, that's all. Now, let me go across here. So what can you see now? Look at Tamara, yeah, it's a very, very bright whitey. It's a bit of a blue here, but very whitey colour up on top. Just keep it nice and simple, yes? There we go, bring it on down. And as it comes down, it's going to get slightly bluer just there. So some cobalt blue, some magenta perhaps, and that's a bit on the pink side for me, so I might take a bit more cobalt, perhaps a touch of phthalo. The phthalo is, if you notice, the phthalo is a much more kind of an earthy blue than cobalt. Cobalt is a very sort of a raw, it's a very bright raw kind of a blue. I would only use it maybe for skies, for bright blue skies perhaps, but I don't kind of use cobalt an awful lot, perhaps in seascapes, but that's about it. It's a very rich, warm kind of a blue. Now, just softening all of that and being very kind of loose about it. You see, just kind of gently going from one colour to the next, and as it comes down I might darken it just slightly, so I'll take more phthalo and try a touch of crimson this time. Okay, let me just take a look at that now. I'm going to dampen the corner of my brush very slightly because it's a little bit on the dry side. I might take a touch of black into that actually, just to sort of dim it down a little bit, take the blueness, the harshness of the blue out of it, and just scrape it along. By the way, my mix here now is very, it's a very, very dry mix. There's not a huge amount of turpentine in there. And go along. I might even lighten it a bit there because I want to show off the brightness under the stag, because the stag is quite a darkish colour, so I want to show that off against the light background. Okay, so I'm not going to go too dark with that. I'm just going to soften all of this, scraping it side to side, up and down, left and right, softening all the colour together. Let me just take a look at that. Yeah, you see, that's not bad now, is it? A nice wintry kind of a scene. Let's go over on this side, and I'm just going to basically do the very same for that side. So a little bit of cobalt, let's try a touch of crimson with the cobalt actually and see what that gives us. So we have a nice mauve now, I'll just take a touch of black then into that. And that gives us a sort of a grey bluey colour. Okay, there we go. The hint of mauve just kind of helps keep it a sort of wintry type of a colour. I haven't used mauve actually in a long time. It is a lovely sort of a wintry colour, isn't it? There we go now. picked up a bit of white there and I just kind of scraped a bit of white into that colour. Okay, now just clean the brush and go back in there and sort of soften all these colours together. I get my soft brush and I'm just going to soften some of these together with my soft blender brush. Now it's gotten quite hard over time. I think it needs to be replaced. I don't have any more at the minute, but it's getting quite hard. It's still doing the job, look, it's softening away fine, absolutely fine. But I've kept my mix kind of quite thin so I can still see the pencil lines of the Stag. Okay, just bear that in mind. If you go putting on loads of thick paint, you're going to cover your pencil lines and you might struggle to find the lines again later and to get the drawing just right, if you know what I mean. Because I had the drawing just right, the scale was just nice, everything was in the right place, so I don't want to lose it, you know what I mean? Okay, let me just stand back now and take a quick look at this. Right, yeah, we're not doing too badly now, we're not doing too badly at all. What I might do is bring some pinky brown into it just here and there. So I'm taking a little bit of burnt umber. I haven't cleaned my brush. Some burnt umber and some crimson and a touch of black, just a touch. Now we have a nice kind of a pinky brown there, don't we? Look, perhaps a little bit more of the crimson and a little bit more again even. It's quite pinky actually. And let me just put a little flick of that in here and there, look. I'm just kind of flicking it outwards and downwards. I just want to bring a suggestion of just that kind of a pinky browny sort of a foliage. Perhaps a bit of black. A bit of black with a bit of pink would be nice in there. And then I'm going to soften it slightly and put a little bit on over here. So I'm just flicking it upwards, out and up. I'm just having a bit of fun now, that's all I'm doing, okay? A little bit of fun with this. I'm not too fussed about it, to be honest. This is really just a colour which is going to be fading way into the background. It's just going to complement the Stag later on when I go to paint the Stag. The colours will kind of bounce off each other, that's all. I'm just going to just kind of bring a bit of this nice colour into the painting, that's all. It doesn't have to be actual leaves or anything like that. It's just to suggest there's something kind of going on there off in the background, that's all. Nothing fancy. Nice and soft. How's that? Now, again, I'll sit back, take a quick look at that. It's not bad. It's not bad at all. Next I'm going to concentrate and get some nice little branches and things like that. And I'm going to use a nice fine pointy little brush, look. A nice little brush, it's a number 1. Yeah, it's just a regular cheap brush, nothing too fancy or dramatic, nothing too expensive. I'm going to dampen this now and I'm going to start with a nice kind of a darkish blue off in the background. So I'm going to take some phthalo blue. Let's try a bit of cobalt. Okay, phthalo blue with a bit of cobalt and perhaps a touch of black in there as well. Now more phthalo. And perhaps a touch of white, just a touch. And to warm that then slightly, I might take a touch of the magenta as well. Now, let me see what kind of a colour we have. So I'll just test it now on the canvas first, okay? Before I kind of move on and start really going to town with the branches. So let me just put a little flick. Just thinking now, I'm gauging now what it's going to look like if I put a lot of this on. So let me just see. Okay, now that's not bad. I think it might be a little bit warmer. I'll try to touch a crimson in there. And you see what's going to happen now is the colour I'm putting on here now, this dark colour, is going to soften into this whitey background, and it's going to disappear and make lovely sort of soft misty effects off in the distance. Do you understand? So let me show you now what I mean, look. And I've been careful now not to make them too thick. It's just an impression of some branches off in the distance coming out of a kind of a bush or something. So just a suggestion, look, a couple of little flicks here and there. I'll take a bit more white. And we have kind of lots of these little branches floating around down there. I might throw a little bit of snow here and there as well, bushy type of a snow, if you know what I mean. We'll see. Let's just go and just keep going at this now and see what happens. We'll put a couple through the stag as well, look off in the distance. Just very, very loose, you see. As I said, I want the focus to be on the stag. I don't want to be putting too much detail into the background of this painting. You know, it's just, I just want to keep it simple. That's all it is. Now I'll dampen my brush a bit more there. I might take a bit more blue. And I'm going to put an extra couple of little flicks in. I want to suggest the kind of the shape of the bush kind of going up like that. You know, it's just a very simple bush off in the distance, kind of flicking up. Yeah, that's a bit better now, that's not too bad. I don't want to go crazy with this now, to be honest. And if you want, you could even just take a little bit of white on its own and put a suggestion of some white ones in. So you could put some white ones through this darker colour as well, you see. Just a hint. And it's a nice subtle background then, isn't it? It's a very sort of impressionistic background. It's a very loose, haphazard, free kind of a style. You see? Nothing too dramatic. Now I might even just pull some of those down and let them sort of soften in to this area down here. Okay, like so, see? Soften them down. Creating a nice sort of misty effect down in here. Alright, let's have a look now and see how that looks. See, there's an awful lot you can do with the blender brush. You can push the paint in certain directions, switch your blender brush, and that's why I love using it so much. You can get these lovely soft sort of misty effects every now and then, just as something different. Now let's try a little bit of snow, shall we? I might try putting a little dab of snow just there and there, and I'm going to look for another brush now, or could I use this one actually? Yeah, we'll try this one. Okay, I'll give it a quick rub on some tissue. You can give it a good clean if you like. And I'm going to just take some of the white and perhaps a touch of the pink, this magenta, tiny touch of that, and I'm just going to chance it now, just see what happens. Look, a little bit of snow here and there. I don't know how it's going to actually turn out, but let's try it and see. Create a little snowy, bushy sort of a scene around here. There we go. Yeah, look at that, that's nice now, isn't it? Little dab of snow here and there to suggest some snowy foliage going on. Nothing fancy. You see what I mean? That's nice now, isn't it? Now the next step I'm going to do is I'm going to put on, probably with my palette knife, a couple of flicks of a browny red kind of a colour. So it's a really rich browny kind of a red. Now I'm going to take some crimson with my little palette knife here, my small palette knife, and I'm going to take some brown and a little touch of black. I'm going to mix those together, because a lovely complementary colour for this now would be a browny pink. Let me show you. Now I have this kind of a browny, dark browny pink here now. Let me just see. And I think a bit more pink actually. A bit more red. Perhaps a touch of Naples yellow. The Naples yellow will just help make it that bit more sort of pasty. Bit more Naples yellow. Now I'm just going to come along and a couple of flicks of that colour down there. See? I'm just kind of dragging it down and out, that's all. It's very, I'm just doing it very loosely now, very loosely. And it's just that little bit of movement I wanted to just capture, just here and there. Perhaps take a bit of Naples yellow, because that will complement the pink as well. Okay, you see what I mean? That nice pinky, kind of warm pinky colour, it just really livens up the scene, doesn't it? So a bit of Naples yellow and a bit of crimson. And that's really, it's just really helping pop, isn't it? Now I might put a little bit up, higher up, just a little bit. Let me get some more pink, some Naples yellow, and perhaps even come down in here with one or two of them. It's just it's very loose, very loose kind of work. And let's put a little bit here as well. So I'm adding bits of brown, then I'm adding little bits of red, I'm adding little bits of pink. Perhaps you can even add, look, little bits of black in there. We'll give a bit of a kick, yes. It's just a suggestion, that's all. Very loose suggestion. You see, even I've done a lot of this now with a knife. It's just very simple. A little bit here and there. Perhaps a bit of more of that pinky colour around here, catching some of the light. Okay, now then I'm just going to take some white and I'm going to suggest a little bit of snow here and there, look. Now I was going to put little flicks of snow on the painting, but to be honest I don't think it needs it at this stage. I really don't. I think it might spoil it if I do that, if I start putting little flicks of white over everything. It might ruin the look that we have. So I'm kind of apprehensive now at the moment about doing that. get some nice little knife work on down here, and a bit around here. Okay, how's that looking now for a nice simple subtle background? Huh? It's not bad, is it? It's not that bad. What I will do is take a pointy brush. I'm just going to add perhaps a little flick of white here and there on some of these darker ones at the back. And what you could even do is, with your little pointy brush and some white, suggest some little white flicks of grass. So this could be snow, little white flicks of snowy grass here and there. Okay, yeah. That one there, couple in here, just having a bit of fun. And it's a lovely loose painting. I really love painting these types of scenes. Now I'm going to get some black, okay? Some watery black, lots of turpentine in this black. And I'm going to go up and just put one or two strong branches just here and there. Alright, just one or two. So it's a very impressionistic kind of a background, isn't it? And perhaps one or two little flicks. You could put dark flicks as well. You can just use your imagination, okay? So that's what it's all about, just having a bit of fun. Isn't that right? Doesn't have to be complicated. Now, there we go. So, I think that'll do for now. That's pretty much done. I can go down along the bottom here and just put a nice bright colour, just a nice bright simple colour down there. A bit of blue, a bit of white, maybe a little bit of black. And I can work on that then, yes? We can work on top of that. We can add little bits here and there as we need. So this entire background now, just I made up myself. Now I did take reference of some colours from a photograph, and it was just the colours of the leaves. Those kind of pinky brown leaves in a snow scene really complement the blues. Maybe even a little bit of that pinky brown going through it. Okay, and then let me get some more white. And I'm just, I know what I might actually do is, I might soften some of that in here and there. Just a little, okay, just for a moment. And then I might take another flat brush, let me see now, nice little flat brush like this, and take some white and suggest some little mounds of snow here and there. Soften them down, see? Clean it up, clean my brush. Nice little patches of snow. And you can also use a palette knife if you like. I might do that in a sec. Just, you know, just get this loose background colour done now, and let's try some of the palette knife, shall we? Okay, pick up a bit of white. See? Why not? Come on, let's just try it. Let's just go for it. Everybody following okay, yeah? Or you can just interpret this in whatever way you like. You can add your own little details into this. You can just use the colours if you like, or you can make it completely your own type of a scene. It's completely up to yourself. But yeah, you know, try it, mess around with colours and see how you get on. So I might take a bit of cobalt blue in this and just add a little bit of blue here and there to the snow. See, as I said at the beginning, you know, the focus really is kind of on the stag, and I don't want to kind of take away too much from that, you know what I mean? So I might just soften this now, just very gently, just a little bit. Take the harshness out of it, okay? You can always do more later, there's no panic. So now I think, just for the purpose of the recording, I might call this part 1 finished, and we can come back and work away now on our stag, take our time, have a bit of fun with the stag, see if we can get a nice proper stag standing in front of us here, yes? So look, I might just go around now, kind of soften some of these out, here and there. They're a little bit on the harsh side, I think, just a little bit still. Okay, not bad. Maybe soften some of these out. Okay, you stand back and take a look at this. Right, that's not bad. I'm thinking part 1 finished, yes? Don't go anywhere, I shall be right back.